Okay, be honest. What do you think? Do you like it? What are you talking about, Garv? You're not giving us much to work off of. I'm talking about my shirt, of course. Silly. Silly Billy. Do you think Billy's kind of upset because, like, he got to be Silly Billy? He's like, why can't it be like Silly Steve? Don't you guys like alliteration? Why did you really hook on to rhyming and then run with that? I guess you guys are the real Silly Billies. And they're like, oh, look, even you're saying it, Billy. He's like, okay, anyways, I go by Bill now. So if anything, it's Silly Bill. And that doesn't sound good. So you guys should just stop saying Silly Billy, right? Don't I make a good argument? And they're like, that's old Bill. Old, we call him, no, I had a really dark, like, punchline to that. And that, it wouldn't have been good. I think it, do you think dark jokes, no, never mind. Anyways, what do you think of the shirt? It's Mickey Mouse. It's, yeah, Mickey looking a little goofy. And I remember I wore this shirt, and the reason I can date it back to 9 years old, I think I've had this shirt for a decade, but if not a decade, then definitely 9 years I've had this shirt, because 9 years ago I was a freshman in high school. And I remember I went to intervention, which isn't like well, it is a place to get help, but it's not what you think it is. In high school, I think I mentioned it here before, intervention is like this gap of like 30 minutes where you don't have classes. Everyone just goes and it's like a collective office hour. It's like it's like if you had office hours in a communist regime. It's like you all get office hours, but you all have to do them at the same exact time. So, yeah, it's like intervention was essentially just communist office hours. Because they're like, you all get 30 minutes, it's at the same exact time, go at them. And you can't talk, it's all silent. It's essentially like one big 30-minute study period that goes for the whole campus, right? Some teachers were cool and they'd be like, you can talk in my classroom. And it's like, cool, then I'm going to go in there. But then, all the, what do you call them, malcontents go into that classroom, then you can't get any shit done. I remember the health and safety teacher I had freshman year. I remember going in there with this friend of mine, actually my my crush. I remember she and I went to the health and safety teacher's office hours, or sorry, intervention, and we played Go Fish. That was dope. And speaking of this girl, I actually wore this shirt freshman year. This is why I dated back to 9 years ago. I went to intervention one day, freshman garb, wearing this shirt. And before I became a freshman, I understood that, each class at my high school has a class color. I don't know if you guys had that when you were in high school, or maybe you had that in middle school. I don't know why they would do that. That's kind of weird. Even in high school, it's weird. Why are you guys each giving us colors and then being like, based on your color, you can tell each other apart. They're all different, okay? And we can tell that based on your color. And I'm like, I think this is setting the wrong message. I've never thought about that. Yeah, in high school, they were like, each class is a different color. And then when we all get together, you all have to sit in your separate sections. And where one person is allowed, where one color is allowed, another color dare not enter that section. And I remember, actually, I went to my first rally. They always have a rally the first day of school. I remember being a freshman wearing yellow. Yellow was the freshman color. It actually used to be white, but then people just kept fucking pissing on the freshmen. So then they were like, wait, is there yellow? Because all their shirts were yellow. No. But yeah, I went to the rally and I remember a junior girl wearing purple, which by the way, it was not her color. I hope she became a senior quick because purple was not in her repertoire of fashion. Okay, I say it out of love, Emily, or whatever your name is. But yeah, Emily, I don't know what her name is. I never saw this girl again, but what she said to me stuck with me forever. Because I enter the gym and this girl in this purple shirt looks at me and she goes, ew, freshman. And then she walked away. I was like, you don't even know that I'm a freshman. Actually, you do, because of the color that I am. Not up here, but my shirt. And yeah, I never thought about that. High school taught us to treat each other differently based on what color you were. Which, when you say it like that, it sounds bad, but it wasn't. It wasn't because we all did it, right? If you all give into it, it's not a bad thing. Did he just justify segregation? Well, I mean, what else would you learn in high school? That segregation is bad? That can't be it. Okay, let's move away from this. Anyways, I knew coming into high school, we had class colors. Freshman's color was yellow. So I had this shirt. It had a little hint of yellow. You see Mickey's shoes. And I was like, well, you gotta, be dripped out, right? Drip to the nines. I think that's the saying. So I got basketball shorts that were gray, but then they had yellow stripes on the side. And I was like, well, this is great. Anytime I wear this shirt, I will wear the corresponding basketball shorts with a yellow stripe. And so this one day I went to intervention in this biology teacher's classroom. I was wearing this fit, probably had Vans on, the yellow striped basketball shorts, and this shirt. And I was like, oh, I'm really coordinated right now. And what do you know? I go into this biology teacher's intervention and I see this girl that I had a crush on. I was like, no way, this is perfect. I was like, I look so fucking stylish right now. And I didn't have any classes with this girl at this time. So I was like, oh my God, what a coincidence. I get to see her today. The same day I'm fucking killing it in the eye department. I mean, no, my sight is definitely piss poor. But I'm saying I'm easy on other people's eyes. Things might not be easy on my eyes. Like there's a lot of like, ooh, I can't fuck. What does that say? I can't read shit. But to other people, I was a treat to the eyes. Because I had, a little hint of yellow in the shirt, a little hint of yellow down low, And that wasn't because I didn't get to go to the bathroom. It was actually on purpose. There was yellow on my shorts with intention. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. She's here. I look like this. Well, not like this, but I'm dressed like this. And so I was like, oh, there couldn't have been a better aligning of circumstances. It was a real syzygy, which is a fascinating word. Look up syzygy. Actually, don't do it. I'll do it for you. It's right here. Syzygy. It was a syzygy if I had ever seen one. I was wearing, yellow top, yellow bottom. She was here. Everything was aligned. Long story short, I don't even think she knew I was in that intervention, and yeah, I don't think that moved the needle in our relationship at all. So, but without that interaction or lack thereof, I wouldn't be where I am today. So, really, I'm thankful for it. But this is a dope shirt, right? I started podcast by asking you what you thought, but I think I made a good argument to where we can all agree on the truth, which is that this is a dope shirt. Anyways, earlier this week, actually, in fact, yesterday, 2 days ago, if I'm being completely honest. Yes, it's 12:14 a.m. on Monday. I know, I did it again. I shouldn't even say it like it's a surprise. Just know that I record these things basically the day they come out. Okay, Monday morning. Sunday night. Well, on Saturday, do you know Hoyer? Hoyer and I, we went bowling. And there was something so fascinating happening to the lane next to us. We were in lane 2, and lanes 3 and 4 were occupied by 3 gentlemen about our age. You could tell they were students. And Hoyer said, do you see what's happening over there? And I look up, and they're about 5 frames in, halfway through the game, and I see a score of 138. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, that's such a large score. I was like, damn. And I looked away and we started bowling. I didn't even realize what was really happening in the lane next to us. But I quickly became privy to what he was talking about because we started bowling, and then you got a wandering eye. I'm going to get that checked out, but you got a wandering eye, and then I, checked back in with our neighbors. I needed some salt and sugar. I shouldn't have had him put it in just Ziploc bags, because then I got home and I couldn't tell which one was which. Anyways, I looked over at our neighbors, not that, I'm a peeping Tom, but yeah, doesn't that suck for Tom too? Man, Billy and Tom really got fucked by this whole naming game that we came up with, the name game, but no one has it as bad as Karen. Karen, Yeah, good luck saying a Karen. I would feel almost as bad for Karens as I do Alexas, but I think you can get real creative with Alexa. You could go Alex, you could go Lexi, you could go Lex, you could go Luther. There's a lot of things you can do with that. But, you know, Karen, what do you do with that? Hey, Ren, hey, Care. That's it. But in the end of the day, you got to be like, hi, my name's Karen. And they're like, all right. Alexa still's got some spunk to it. You know, Karen's got some. Actually, I guess I'm just giving into the Karen stereotype, right? By being like, no, Karen could be cool, which is wrong. I do know cool Karens. I know. Alert the presses. There are cool Karens in the world. I know them. I know all of them. Yes, I know every single cool Karen. Because you can't think there's too many of them, right? Yeah, you can count them on your hand, and I actually know them. But I had a wandering eye. I know. I'm sorry, but I did. And I looked over at our neighbors, and now they were deeper into the game. And they were on frame 9. When it clicked what Hoyer was actually saying, he wasn't pointing out that that guy had a high score. Like, to me, 138 halfway through a game, I'm like, God damn, that's good. What he was pointing out was the person right below him. He was talking about pee-pee. And you're like, whoa, what are we talking about now? No, that was his name that he entered in the bowling thing. I think the first guy was C, the second guy was pee-pee. And I think, their friend, he had his own, like, scorecard on the other screen. I think his name was B or something. But pee-pee was killing it. And that's what I immediately is wrong because it took me 5 minutes to realize it, but I saw that, pee-pee doesn't have a score. He has a score of 0. And you're like, how's that possible? They're 8 frames in. He's getting gutter balls? Well, that could be one explanation, but that wasn't what this was. My man was 8 frames in, bowling a perfect game. And then I realized, Mr. Slowpoke over here, I turned to Hoyer. I was like, oh my God, do you see that guy's bowling a perfect game? He's like, yeah, that's what the fuck I was talking about. I was like, right, okay, sorry. I'm the late one here. And I couldn't, like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what my role was, I was like, you definitely don't make a comment, right? You don't want to jinx it. Be like, hey man, nice job with the, he'll be like, hey, don't fucking talk to me. Oh my God, now I'm not going to get the perfect game. Only my 2 bros here that I'm with, they can talk to me, okay? They're my good luck charm. But you spewing your little filth of gab over here, how about you keep that over there, okay? How about you go back to where you came from? I'm like, whoa, what's this about now? I look down at myself. Am I wearing yellow again? Why is this always happening? But he got 9 strikes in a row. It's Hoyer's turn on our side. But he hangs back. And we both are standing there holding bowling balls of our own, and we're watching the guy. And he takes a little longer. Usually he's quick with it, He picks up a ball, he goes, strike. It looks beautiful, too. He's got some finesse to it, Some moxie. But he goes up there, 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, throws that shit. It always looks like it's going to be a gutter ball, and then it curves like a madman over to the left. There's a joke there. And it knocks down 8 pins, leaving him with a split to deal with. The 2 corner pins were the only ones left. And you look up at the scoreboard, and this is what it looks like. That's right. That's what we were looking at. This guy was torn. He was absolutely disheveled, right? Who wouldn't be? You bowl 9 strikes only to get an 8 that results in a split. Oh, it's heartbreaking. I didn't take it well, but I don't think he took it much better. Because he goes back, to where all the balls are. I thought they were in the front. Well, evolution. But he goes back to where all the balls are and sits on top of the ball shelf, and he just looks down, just breathing real heavy and shit. Like, just can't like believe himself because he just got bad news. He was like, I had a perfect game and I fucked it. Yeah, his head was in his hands. He's just beside himself. He's like looking around. He's all sweaty. He looks like he just found out he was a baby daddy, you know? He was like, I had such a good life in front of me. And then this fucking happened. Now what do I do? Now how do I proceed? I don't know what to do. Do I call someone? My friends are right here. They can come for me, but I just need some alone time, okay? Because my life is different now. I have this new piece of information, and it's going to dictate how I go forward. Anyways, he took about 3 minutes to himself. He gets up there, and he hit the back right corner one. And, yeah, he pulls away with, like, a really impressive score still. I think it was, like, 250 or some shit. But, yeah, I almost witnessed a near perfect game. I've never seen a perfect game of bowling. I've only heard of it. I don't think anyone's actually ever done it because I've only heard the tale. I've never seen it with my own eyes. And as someone that, does their own research. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I do my own research. Okay. If I don't see it with my own eyes, it's never happened. So, yeah, I almost saw the first perfect game ever, and it didn't happen. And then it kind of like ruined the rest. This sucks. This is the first thing that happened when we got there. Hoyer and I rent out our lane for an hour. This is the first like 6 minutes of us getting there. And then everything I did, all the bowling we did, I had like okay scores. Like for me, I was happy with the scores. We played like 3.5 games. The first 3 games I bowled 98, 101, and 131. But I still felt like I sucked because I just these guys still bowled the whole time we were there, and they just kept they didn't have another perfect game. Like that guy didn't get another strike for like 6 frames. I think he was like in his head or whatever, but he still every frame was like 9, 8. It was still crazy. Like they were bowling these near perfect games. And so I would get up there, bowl like a 6 and be like, God, I fucking suck. That's kind of like, I don't know why this would happen, but you're on one half of a basketball court and you're just like practicing free throws, and all you hear behind you is just a bunch of swishes. And every time you got to go up to get your rebound off of your miss, and you got to do that, walk of shame back to the free throw line, all you see across the court is Michael Jordan. And you're like, that's why you keep fucking hearing those swishes. And every miss I do feels even that much more painful. Because that's the greatest of all time right there. That's how I felt. I felt like I was bowling next to Michael Jordan. It was fucking annoying. Yeah, you ever play a game with a friend that's too good at the game? It ruins it. You're like, this isn't even like if there's not good banter, then what the fuck even is this? That's a nice thing about bowling. I think pretty much everyone's on the kind of the same playing field, so it's competitive. It's fun. Like Hoyer and I were competing, up until actually I murdered his ass. No, but we would compete, for like the first half of the game. It is competitive. Like there's really until you get to frame, like unless you really fucking suck, until you get to frame like 6, it's really anyone's game. I think That's what's beautiful about bowling. And other things that I don't want to say because it's stupid. It's okay. Anyways, I got boba on Friday, and I went to this place I don't usually go to, and so I didn't really like order what I usually order. And so I don't know. Okay, I don't know why I did this, but I just ordered some like very random thing, and it sucked. It tasted like glorified dishwater. It was terrible. I mean, there was like this like gooey stuff at the bottom, and this like fine what do you call it? I don't know what it's called. what do you call it when something's pretty like grainy? There's a word for that. A fine grain. Damn, that sucks. I don't know the name of it. Oh, I just had it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Hmm. Yeah, there's a word for like a grainy substance. It is a type of grain, but it moonlights as a more general term for just any powdery substance. Fuck, that's gonna annoy the shit out of me. If I find it, it's right here. Boom. This is the word I was trying to figure out. But yeah, there was a like a real jelly gooey substance that was pretty dope at the bottom, and then there was like this grainy substance, you know? And then the actual like milk tea part, bro, that tastes like dishwater. It was terrible. It felt like someone like washed their hands over a strainer, and then there was a cup under the strainer, and they're like, okay, now here's your milk tea. It was terrible. But the worst part of the experience wasn't like drinking it. It was stabbing, it with a straw. Cause I go to my car, put it in my cup holder. I go to stab it, and there's some resistance. I didn't like puncture it. There's no penetration at first. I was like, okay. I guess I just took it at a weird angle. I go in again. I don't crack the seal. I'm like, okay, wait. So this is me. I'm wrong. And then I go even harder, and it fucking it just blew up. It didn't like it wasn't terrible. Like here's a picture of the damage. It obviously doesn't look that bad, but on the lid, I don't think you can see it, but there was like the lid had a puddle on it to where like even if you move the cup, it just spills the whole puddle. And then yeah, you can see like little drops everywhere. And so I like it took me like 4 minutes to clean that shit up. And then I took a sip. I was like, oh, this is gonna at least now I get the fruits of my labor. I took a sip, tasted like dishwater. I was like, fuck. So then I think I was just shocked. I was stunned. So I just sat in my car for 50 minutes. And I just slowly like worked away at it. It was like 9 p.m. on Friday. I was just in a parking lot sipping away at dishwater. But then every few minutes I would discover another place that the boba got. Like I'd like move my arm and then be like, oh my god, it's all over my arm too. Even when I like eventually left the parking lot to continue on with the rest of my life, I went to like, get out of the park, and that whole I didn't even realize it. The whole like console area and like that had boba droplets on it. I was like, or like milk tea droplets on it. I was like, fuck. So everything about that experience was bad. It wasn't. I mean, when I left, there were these three girls. Shout out these three girls. They were sitting outside. They recognized me, so we talked for about 5 minutes. But that was the only redeeming part. Talking to those girls. The whole boba part, the whole reason I went there, that fucking sucked. That was terrible. I just sat in my car 50 minutes. I was like, well, what do I do with my life now? I felt like the bowler. I felt like pee-pee. I was like, well, this didn't go how I thought it would go. I came in with such high prospects, right? I was like, I'm going to get this dope boba I'm kind of feeling. I haven't had boba in like a week and a half. I'm like, oh, this is great. Did some grocery shopping. I was like, I'll get that. I'll get in my car. I'll take a sip. Ooh, I'll feel good. I'll drive back to my apartment, watch a little bit of Modern Family, work away at that boba, kill it. But then, yeah, my boba exploded, and it was kind of like I bowled an 8, like Mr. PP earlier. Except he only took 3 minutes to reset. I fully sat there for 50 minutes. I was like, it can't be me, bro. I'm not the guy. How did this happen to me? So that was great. Speaking of great, I got featured in UC Davis Magazine. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video if you want to check it out. You don't have to, but it's there if you want to. It's cool. There's this girl that wrote the article, April. She's been interviewing me. We talked about 3 or 4 times over the past few months. Yeah, she's been writing this for a while. I think I first talked to her in like February, March. So it's been about like 2-ish months. And yeah, she wrote it. She did like 4 graduating student like profiles. And yeah, it was cool to be included in that. So you can check that out if you want. And then also, I made a new YouTube video. Oh, first time in 6 weeks. It's the Gary V video, and it's doing well. It's yeah, I'm cool with the video too, and it feels good to make something again. I have sucked at editing the past, month and a half, but this past week, like 3 days in a row, I edited for 2 hours after work, and I could tell on the third day I got like an editing high. It's like a runner's high, where there reaches this point of inflection where you're like, oh, this doesn't hurt, and I actually enjoy this. So yeah, on that third night, I pulled out my laptop and actually got like excited. I was like, oh, I get to edit and like make progress. And so yeah, it felt good to do that. And yeah, now there's a video that I've made. Earlier this week, also on Facebook, as we know, my favorite social media platform, I saw that these two girls I went to high school with, middle school, high school with, they got engaged. Congratulations to them. But, oh, here we go. But their caption was, "Now you're stuck with me forever and always." Oh, I know, it's sweet. A little bit of Stockholm syndrome there. Um, no, yeah, it's sweet. It's cute. Well, it would have been cute if there wasn't a fucking typo in the caption. You're like, Garv, everything sounded right in what you said. I know. Now you're stuck with me forever and always. Yeah, it sounds right. They used the wrong your. Oh, I know. It's tragic. I read it and I felt bad. Yeah. They said, now you're stuck. Am I stuck? I don't own a stuck. Yeah, they're like, now you're stuck with me forever and always. And the post had been up for a while. So I was like, oh no, this isn't even like take downable yet, you know? Like, if we were still in the first 20, like I think it had been like 2 hours. If we were still in the first 20 minutes, even actually, no, fine, 2 hours. If we're still in the first 2 hours, I'm like, you could take it down, repost it with a, correct caption. But we were deep. Like, they had enough likes to where, like, if you post this again, people are gonna be like, wait, didn't I already see this? Are you getting married to someone else? 2 marriages one day? Wow, big day for you. What did I do on my Friday? Probably nothing. Just sat in my car drinking fucking dishwater for 50 minutes. I'm not like someone that's a stickler on grammar, right? I try not to be. Like, I notice them, but I've gotten better, I think, at not saying shit. You know? I think I grew up doing it ironically. Like, if someone's used the wrong your, I would be like, oh, wrong your, but then I would do it ironically. But then isn't there a point where it crosses over to unironic? Like, that's what I do with certain words. Like, what is lit? In high school, I would say lit ironically, or I thought, and then it crosses over into unironic to where I was just saying lit, like, oh, that's lit. It's like, but you're a junior. Lit's only for seniors. I'm like, okay, that's no. I mean, it's cool. That's what lit means. Okay. They're like, I thought you were in Lang. It's like, yeah, no. You're talking about classes. I'm talking about dope shit. And they're like, well, what does dope mean? And they're like, I'm okay. Fuck. But yeah, I would ironically, I think, be a stickler on people's grammar and shit. But then I think there was a point where it's like, well, you're not even doing it ironic. Like, there's a point where you're like, I don't think it's a joke anymore. I think you actually like are an asshole. It's like, well, no, I'm self-aware about being an asshole, so there's no way I could be one, right? If I know I'm a thing, there's no way I could be it, right? Because why would I? If I know I'm a bad thing, wouldn't I not be that? And you're like, yeah, no, that's what you would think, right? But you still are that way. So that's the thing. I'm not like a stickler for this, but this one is like, ooh, you just announced an engagement. Ooh, you maybe want to get that word right, right? Like, if this is how you start your lifelong relationship, ah, you know, like if you're saying your vows and there's a typo in there, you better find some wood to knock on. No, damn it, man. There's a really good joke there. Oh, but it's so offensive that I can't. I know I do this shit a lot where I'm like, oh, I can't say that. Whatever. Maybe like 60% of those I could say. This one, I 1,000% cannot say, but this is the one where I'm like, I know that this, I would say it to like a close friend and it would kill. Oh my God, it's so fucking good. Anyways, yeah, I feel bad for them. I wish them the best, but you guys got to shape up because you are off to a rocky start, okay? You're off to a rocky start, as in you are, okay? I know you're not familiar with that word. Little throwback to a couple weeks ago. I was talking about how, when people cross the street and they don't wave at you. Well, I stopped at a stop sign. Like I was driving, Actually, when I was driving to go grocery shopping before my boba incident, I was driving to Safeway and I stopped at a stop sign and this lady took the crosswalk, as she can. But as she was crossing, she gave me a wave. And I was like, oh. She listened to the pod. No, I was like, that's good. I want to like roll down my window and be like, thank you. You don't know what you just did, but my day is infinitely better. There's no way it could go wrong now. It's not like Boba would just like blow up in my car, No way that could happen. But no, and then I felt really guilty because, then I was walking around with Hoyer on Saturday and I crossed the street and I didn't wave at someone. I mean, it was totally like my right to go, and I don't even think they were looking at me. But I felt so guilty because I'm like, who the fuck am I to say now? I was on this moral high ground, a few weeks ago. I was like, if you cross street, better wave, and then I didn't do it. It was like not an extreme situation like the one I was in, Yeah, they. No one has it as bad as me. Okay, but I still felt terrible. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even live by my doctrine, I put a code into place and I don't even live up to it. I'm going to be kicked out of my own religion. I don't know why I had this thought, but I did. If you swallowed a Mento like a pill and then you chugged Coke, would you die? You would, right? I mean, I'm no scientist, but like, science says you should die, right? And then I'm like, if there's going to be like, you know, no. Yeah, because we've all done it, right? Coke and Mentos. Dude, I don't know what's up with me today. No, I've been off. I was telling Hoyer about this. I hung out with him on Saturday. I think for like the past month, I've been like so off. Like I even told my mom this. I was like, I feel like everything I say is wrong, I, oh man, it's tough. Cause, oh man, I do have a reason. Like the things I'm thinking right now, they're very clear to me, but like I can't tell you what they are. They're mine. You don't get to have all my thoughts. Let's go back to my list before I start spiraling out of nowhere. I saw this. This is from a while back, but I was in Roseville, my hometown, and I was behind this truck. It was actually right after I got a haircut. So it was like, yeah, whenever that was. And I was behind this truck and it had a window sticker on the back window that said, it was like a sticker and it was a revolver, like a hand holding a revolver pointing at you. And then what is it called? A drum? What's the little like thing you like click in and it's got the 6 bullets in it? Well, the like drum, we'll call it. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but the little like, big beans can like popped out. And in it, there were words. And the words read, "Nothing in this car is worth dying for." Implying that if you break into my car, I'm going to shoot and murder you. And I started thinking about, isn't it crazy like how quick it becomes okay to kill someone? Because I'm like, wait, yeah, if you break into someone's like house or car and then you get shot and killed by someone, are they like justified? Because then, they'll be like, wait, why'd you kill him? And you're like, well, they were breaking into my stuff. And they'll be like, oh, okay. So yeah. And then I thought about, isn't that crazy? You could be standing next to a truck, right? Standing next to this gentleman's truck. He can't kill you. But if I go like this, and put my hand into like the bed of the truck and like pull out one of his wood planks. I don't know what he had in the bed of his truck, but I feel like trucks always have wooden planks in them. If I reach into the bed of his truck and I start to pull out a wood plank, he can kill me, right? Like he's well within his jurisdiction. Like I'm next to his car. And he's like, that's fine. But then my hand is in his car. And he looks back over and goes, I can now murder that man. And I'm going to, because nothing in that car is worth dying for. But I guess you're going to learn that the hard way, bud. And he would kill me. And then I started thinking, wait, do you think people like are low key serial killers, but they'll never get in trouble with the law because they always just set people up? Okay, right? Okay, think about this. What if someone's a serial killer? Like that's kind of like an itch they have to scratch, Like if someone's just like an inherently a serial killer, do you think they like lay intentional traps and then they like do stakeouts so that they can, scratch that itch, like I said? Because if you're a serial killer, it's really hard to get your fix. Like you'll get like one, And I'm not talking like you're a serial killer to where like you're established. Like you can become a serial killer. That's the thing. I'm talking. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. If you're a closeted serial killer, because like if you've shown that you kill a bunch of people, like you're a serial killer. We're all like, that's a serial killer. But if you're not like out to the world as a serial killer, like you just know that that's your truth, then you like still want to. Yeah, what if you Yeah, what if you like you're like, I know like I haven't killed anyone, but like I know I'm a serial killer, so I need to somehow like scratch that itch. So I'm going to act on it. And then you like leave valuable shit in your car and then wait out by your car just so you can like kill people, and then you'll never get in trouble with the law cuz they're like, "Well, yeah, they were breaking into your shit." But then there's got to be a point, right? Maybe by like the fourth one. No, let's take it one by one. The first one, the judge is like, yeah, of course. The second one, judge is like, wow, unlucky, huh? but I guess you're prepared. That's good. The third one, the judge is like, no way, I'm seeing you here again. The fourth one, the judge is like, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. If you want to be my friend, just I'll give you my number. Just text me. Like we can do this outside of court. You don't gotta like keep killing people to come back. And by fifth, there's got to be a full blown investigation, right? To be like, wait, why does this guy keep killing people? Is he not locked up? It's like, well, no, he's like protecting his property and stuff, so he's actually justified. And you're like, oh, why is he such like a high target? Like, why do people keep breaking into his shit specifically? They're like, well, he leaves like valuable shit around. He, oh my god, he's kind of a salesman. He can sell you on the idea of breaking. He can convince you to break into his truck without saying a single word to you. And he gets steady clients because he's murdered 5 times. Wow. This guy's a serial killer, but oh, this guy's a serial killer in and out of sales. Am I right? Man, he can really set him up and knock him down. I bet if he was a salesman, he'd make a killing. He'd be a killer salesman. Oh my god, he's a killer salesman. Holy shit, that's the joke. Yeah. Holy shit. No, that's the pun right there. He's a killer salesman because he keeps selling people on the idea of breaking into his property so he can kill them. I don't have trouble sleeping, right? I think I can like lay down and, knock out in like 4 minutes. But there are those times when I do just lie there, eyes closed, and I can't go to sleep. And it's something like what you just watched happen that I think about, where I'm like, wait, there's a premise here, and then I like follow it through, but then it takes a while to follow it through. And also like through this whole walkthrough you just watched, I censored myself a lot. I could have taken that. I could have taken that in some weird directions. But yeah, when I'm alone with my thoughts, nothing's really censored because it's all just up there, right? So man, yeah, it'll take like 40 minutes to go to sleep if like one of these thoughts just gets latched on, But thank God for censorship. Wait, what's this guy saying? Oh my God. Wait, do you think? Oh, that's got to be a thing, right? Do you think there's some little kids that just learned about the Bill of Rights or whatever, and they learned about freedom of speech and shit? So they go home and they curse their parents out, and their parents are like, Billy, I thought you were silly, but now you're just downright an asshole. What are you saying all these words for? And he's like, well, you can't do anything about it. I have a freedom of speech. And they're like, that's not, I mean, yeah, but don't, not in this house you do. Don't. Wow, do you think a kid could take a parent to Supreme Court because the parent doesn't allow the kid to say, like, fuck in their house? And then the kid's like, they're encroaching on my rights. I should be allowed to say fuck in my household. The judge is like, honestly, Billy, I've had this guy come in this month for murder 5 times. So I just want to say, first of all, thank you. This is kind of a case that's more my speed. So shout out to you. I'm going to let you have this one. Yeah, lock up the parents. That's fucked up. They shouldn't be stopping him from saying fuck in their house. What do they think? Oh no, see, I have another terrible. This isn't even an angle I would tell my friends. But yeah, I have a terrible way I could take that. Damn it. It's, man, I don't know. Whatever. Mm. I hung out with, you guys know her, Tia, a few weeks ago, and it was I think it was the she said one of, I think the funniest, and I thought it was like such a sweet, like, warm thing. I liked it. It was I was I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I was like stuttering, and like I was trying to, we were talking and I like was saying something, and I stopped myself, and she was like, "Garv, it's not the podcast. You can say it." And I was like, "Yeah, I can I?" Yeah. So thank you, Tia, for letting me say all these fucked up things. But I can't tell you guys. We have a different relationship, okay? You and I. You don't get to hear my internal thoughts. Those are just for me to keep myself up at night and sit in parking lots for 50 minutes alone as boba coats my left arm. I don't even know how it got to my left arm. How do you travel all the way over there? You transient little fucking milk tea. How'd you get over there? Yeah, I got fucking nomadic ass milk tea making its way around my whole goddamn car. I'm like, stay in one place. Get a stable job, raise a family. Don't fucking get everywhere. You're just lashing out because I stabbed you. I think they must have filled it too much, right? And that's why when I punctured it, it was like, well, where else do we go? Pff. It's kind of like if you swallowed Mentos and you chugged Coke. Where else would it go but out the holes? I don't know if you would die though, right? You got to do, there's probably some experiment, right? You got to measure the amount of pressure that gets applied to the cap of a Coke. Well, then you got to also take the volume of a 2 liter thing of Coke and then see like how does that compare to a stomach, and also like the flexibility of a stomach. Of course, a 2 liter of Coke is not as malleable as a human body, or is it? I don't know. Well, no. You can leave. No. Nope. Oh my god. Nope, that's really dark. Oh, wow. Ooh. Never mind. No, I'm not going to say that. uh, yeah, no. No, there's nothing bad. No, I can tell you, right? Yeah. So, okay. So I've been talking about like an adult human being swallowing a Mento and then, or Mentos or whatever, and then chugging Coke. And my like question I'm floating around is like, would they die? And then what I just thought is like, what if you? Oh no! Oh, this is. No, I don't think it's. No, let me. Okay, if you put a. Hmm, like adults are really durable, right? So what if you like gave a baby a Mento to put in their mouth, and then you like had them sip Coke? Like they're a baby. Like, could they just die? like, like I know that wasn't bad because I thought of like different ways of saying that, and that's the safest way I landed on. But like, yeah, like, couldn't you? Wouldn't a baby's head explode if you put Mentos and Coke in their head? Okay, in their head sounds weird. I mean, in their mouth. Yeah, if you just like pop a bunch of Mentos in their ear and pour Coke down that, wouldn't they just blow up? No, yeah, anyone would die if you did that. How you spitting Mentos down someone's ear? What the fuck? Anyways, thanks for listening to this podcast. Um, the past few days, I feel like I've been just not not on my game. In terms of like talking. So, yeah, my bad. This is the product of that. Anyways, thanks for listening. Talk to you next week. Okay. Bye.